Alright guys, we are at BMW Burbank, going to get the S1000RR. Also, by the way, there's a surprise for this bike. I'll return this and let you know what's going on with that bike, but let's go inside first. Okay, check this out. All three colors in a row. So this was actually the color that caught my eye online. I saw it and I said, wow, okay, this is very interesting. And then I thought, okay, let me come here and ask about it. I wanted to sit on it, try it, and I actually learned a few things about how BMW works when it comes to financing a bike. They actually make it so easy to be able to afford this bike. And the thing is, when I sat on it, the crazy thing is that the suspension, I was really surprised by how stiff the rear suspension is. But then I thought, okay, maybe it's too stiff because they've set it up to be so stiff that maybe it has no rear static sag, but that's not the case. I tested it and it's like, it has about 5 millimeters of static sag, so it's actually pretty much set up properly. So I was surprised because a lot of bikes, when it comes to the rear suspension, the spring is usually very, very soft. So this comes with a Krapovic, but I did not choose the one with a Krapovic because I'm going to remove the exhaust and do another aftermarket exhaust. Mine comes with this one, which is just the regular stock exhaust. I think this is a little more expensive if you get this package, so it really doesn't matter because if I'm going to remove it, what's the point of paying for it? So I went with that exhaust, the basic one. To be honest, I wasn't sure which one I wanted to choose because I love the white one. I think it looks amazing, although you see a lot of the white ones out there. I also love the black one because I was thinking, okay, I can do a theme like a fully on black with some carbon and make it all carbon. But then again, I said, okay, this one though, you don't see it. This is like a brand new color. So I said, you know what? Let me get with a brand new color and see what results we can get out of this. So instead of me going over how the finances work for this bike, because they really make it really easy to be able to afford this bike. Literally, they have so many options that can make it possible for you to own it. So instead of me going over the details, because to be honest, I don't really understand all the details, I'm gonna have the representative here of the BMW to explain to you why it's so easy to afford this bike. Basically, I have the question, like even me, like I don't know them, right? Like the finances, like how the balloon payment works and all that stuff. So yeah, it would be great if you can explain it just to, you know, for viewers to be able to understand why it's so easy to get an S1000RR.
So if we were to talk about this motorcycle right here, there's two different options for financing.
Okay.
Yeah, they're standard, simple interest, 60-month loan term, beginning, middle, and end. Simple interest loan means that you only pay interest for the time that you're borrowing the money. So what that means is if you pay off early, you pay less interest. So that's a normal, simple interest loan. BMW, through their car side of financing, they have a different structure and they call it an easy ride payment. So the easy ride payment, what it does is it takes a percentage of the purchase and it puts it off to the balloon payment. It shortens the term, and usually on a shortened term, your payment goes bigger, but because you have a portion of the purchase over here in a shortened term, your payment goes smaller. Okay. So what that means is come 48 months into the loan, you then have a choice where the balloon payment comes up. Your payment has been much smaller and you can choose to pay more and pay it off sooner. Once again, simple interest loan. You only pay for the interest for the time that you borrow the money. So at the end of the term, you have three choices. You can trade in, refinance, or purchase outright. It makes it super easy. I use it on all my GS purchases because the payment is so much smaller. So on my first GS, when I got to the end, I didn't even get to the end, to tell you the truth. A super sexy bike rode by, and I had to have it. And so I was 2 years in, and I looked backwards, and I saw that I was positive equity. So I had paid a little extra, as I always do, just in case I wanted to keep it, so it'd be easier to keep. But a little extra towards the payment had actually hit the balloon. So I became positive equity, and I used the positive as a down payment for the next one. I always swear that every bike is my last bike. It never happens.
We know that never happens.
Something sexy rolls across the floor,
course.
and all of a sudden,
and we want another
I'm
one.
cheating on that one.
It's not really cheating if you get to keep it.
True. I have to break up gracefully.
Right.
You, it's me. So on the last GS, when I did that and I did the trade-in, it actually, the positive equity, it was like I got back rental money from having the bike as I did, and then a little bit down. Super important when you do any of these structures on the Easy Ride, that you're making sure that the math calculation works out in your favor at the end of the loan by putting down as your down payment whatever equals taxes or extras.
That makes sense, yes.
Yeah, it'll throw you into negative equity if you try to throw in tax or all your extra carbon fiber.
Right.
In my case, all of my protection for the bike.
Yep. So basically, if we use like completely random numbers here, right? Let's say a bike of this category, if we're looking into, let's say 22,000 out the door or something like that, right, based on the trim and the bike and everything, and you just cover the first expenses, maybe like the taxes, and let's say you do a $1,500, $2,000 down payment. Perfect. Instead of your payment being in the 400s a month, right? Like, because probably you're looking for 50 or even more, depending on how many months you're going to do. Right. If you do balloon payment, you're able to drop that payment even under 300.
Correct.
Like, you can even do 200, 250 a month if you do a little higher down payment.
Correct.
And then at the end of the term at 48 months, based on the down payment you did, you could also have equity. So when the time comes to return it, or not return it, but either trade it in to get the newer model, yes, you don't owe anything. You just bring it in and hop into the new model.
Yes.
Amazing. Perfect. Yeah, that's when
trading up all the time.
That's actually amazing, because that's when I realized with BMW, it makes it so easy for riders to be able to afford this bike, right? Because with any other brand, it's basically, black and white. This is what the price is. Do your down payment, and also not to mention that a lot of times with dealers, they always try to sneak in hidden fees and all that stuff. Whereas here, I noticed there was none of that, right? I walked in, there was no tricks, no games to get you. Like, this is the price of the bike. This is the price at the door. You do the down payment. You get to choose if you want to do balloon payment or not, and you can make it super affordable, basically.
Super affordable. I think that's one of the reasons why I left NorCal and came down here.
Okay.
One of the things that they've allowed me to do is there's no handling, there's no dealer prep. They're doing straightforward deals, and the selection here, it's pretty massive.
Yes.
So not only do we have, normally I spec out bikes in premium packages, but some people don't want all of the premium
Correct.
packages. So I have bikes that are all across the gamut for the double R's and for the GS's. I have a GS over there for somebody who wants to go off-road without the premium package. Saves you about $4,000, the white one on the end.
Yep.
So this one on the end. So different bikes, different payment structures, and we've also added on some extra, some secondary companies for extra financing options.
Nice, amazing. So question, the balloon payment, all that, is it specific to the dealer here, or is it to any dealer throughout the United States?
Any dealer.
Any dealer.
What I've found in doing it for 11 years is that there's not a lot of people that have really, I did it on my own purchase.
Okay.
So then I really started experiencing, understanding, and then over 11 years of using the BMW financing, I found that the trick was do not finance
Yes, yes.
your fees or your accessories, because what the intended experience from BMW is that at the end of the term, it's easy for you to try another model.
Correct, yes.
If you set it up wrong,
yes. And you know, we know how it is. I myself, you know, within a couple of years, I want another bike, right? Either the newer model or whatever that is, and it makes it it makes it so much more accessible to be able to do that. And I always wonder, you know, with BMW's S1000RR, I think it's a popular bike. You see it a lot on the road. And what I noticed too when I test rode it is it's one of the most comfortable sport bikes, leader bikes out there in the market.
So the really cool thing about the Double R is that it appeals to first-time riders as much as it appeals to experienced racers. It's a bike that you can set up in the ride modes to help you learn how to grow into the bike. As well as your skills improve on the track, you can grow into more with one bike instead of having to go through multiple models to get to the experience intermediate level.
Exactly, yes, because when I test rode one, on the lower RPM, especially if I would select it in a lower mode, like a road mode or rain mode, it literally felt like I was riding more like a 600 bike, right? You didn't feel the crazy power of it, but when I would switch the riding mode to the race mode, for instance, and then I would ride it past 10,000 RPM, the bike screamed like a rocket. I was like, where did that come from, right? It was an amazing experience. And the crazy thing too, even when let's say you are in race mode, what I noticed is that if you want to commute with it, right? Let's say you want to ride on the street.
I can't believe there's so many people commuting on it.
I know, you can literally commute on this bike because if you stay under 7,000 RPM, which is where you would be normally if you're commuting, it's just, you don't feel, it's so linear, right? The bike is so linear and smooth, and the seating position, the gas tank is all set in a way where you don't really feel that you ride a super aggressive track prep bike. Right. But if you want to take it to the track, it becomes one.
You can hit that mode.
Exactly. So yeah, that's why I was mind blown by this bike. So with a combination of everything, how it handles the riding experience and the fact that it makes it so much more accessible for riders, to me that was a no-brainer. I have to have that bike. So it's crazy.
Well, I'm glad you came in, and I'm glad you took the time, because it was really, really cool going through all of the options that are available. One of the things that I learned on the Double R by being sent out to ride it on the track by BMW is that their idea of gaining a customer is retaining a customer.
Exactly, yes.
And I haven't experienced that with all the other brands, all the other manufacturers that I've worked with. So they've won me over with all of these trainings that they've sent me to, even on the Double R, but on all the other models. So
yes. Yeah, amazing.
Cool. I'm glad to have you.
Thank you so much. Thanks again for everything. Alright, so what was the surprise about this? Basically, my buddy over here bought it. This is a 2024 Bonneville Bobber. They had it in on an amazing deal, so he couldn't say no to this. It is beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, I also kind of want it. It is so cool looking, and let's see how it feels. I gotta do a ride review on this thing, that's for sure. But there's gonna be a lot of modding for this bike, exhaust and some stuff. So let me know in the comments if you want to see content with this bike, because there's no question we're going to be modding this bike for sure. Question is, would you like to see more about this bike? The S1000RR is there, but before we get to that, let's do a startup for this bike really quick. Keys down here on the clutch. I mean, we gotta do some crazy exhaust here, like a spiral or something. Yeah, it's too tame right now. We gotta build up this thing. I was saying this bike is beautiful.
I like it. We need the wheels. I
mean, we're gonna do some for sure. Yeah. More debt. When the bank confiscates this thing, it's gonna be fully modded. All right, let's head out. Look at this beast. Look at it. at this bike. So I think it's actually restricted from the manufacturer to 8,000 RPM. I think it won't go past 8,000. I'll have to test it. It's to protect the engine during the break-in process, which I think is actually a good idea, because I don't know if I will be able to stay under 8,000 RPM with this bike. There's the bumper. I need to test ride that bike. I'm jealous. This bike desperately needs an exhaust and a tune. I heard there's a video that BT Moto uploaded with their tune and the launch control. Oh my god, that made it sound like a freaking Godzilla sound. I don't know, man. I heard that sound and I said, you know, I'm having second thoughts about the S1000RR. It's a different beast. Okay, it actually has really good brakes. Wow. Like, I'm literally just using one finger and the brake is insane. Alright, I have to be honest here. This is the best braking power I've ever experienced. Yeah, I think this, look, after the Canyon ride, I'll know more about this bike, but I'm leaning to believe that it might just be the best overall, when I say best, I mean overall, leader bike that does everything. Because so far I'm riding it and I'm not uncomfortable at all. It's extremely comfortable. Yes, I feel some heat on my right side. Also, it's about 100 degrees right now. I'm not even wearing gear, to be honest. I'm with my t-shirt. I know I shouldn't be doing this, but yeah, it's crazy hot. So I do feel a little bit of heat on my right side, but it's extremely comfortable. I'm not sure at all by riding this bike, and considering that it has amazing braking power, it's more linear, which makes it a little more comfortable using the throttle and low RPM. And I know for a fact, once you push this bike past 10,000 RPM, this thing screams. I know for a fact this bike might just get the #1 place for overall best leader bike. Too soon to speak. Alright guys, back at the garage with the S1000RR, and it just matches beautifully with the pack of the Italians. So I do have a rear stand, I just don't have spools yet to install. I will be getting spools with all the parts I'm planning to do with this bike. Obviously, first parts, mirror deletes, mirror block-offs, turn signals. In the back we have to do a rear fender eliminator, but the most important part is we need to do the break-in, we need to do a ride review, maybe compare it to the other leader bikes, so we can be able to do an exhaust and a tune, so we can have this bike shine. In the meantime, Ducati Panigale V4, I just ordered the exhaust Spark. It's called Spark Double Dyno. It's the one that goes with 2 exhaust tips in the back. It looks beautiful, it sounds amazing, it's loud. I wanted to have something loud, just like the GP22 with the RS-V4. At the same time, in a few weeks, I'm actually waiting for the rear fender eliminator license plate bracket from JL Designs. Just a couple more weeks and it will be available. I wish I could show you how it looks like. It looks beautiful. I just cannot do that yet, but stand by for that. It will have an install video. And speaking about JL Designs, guess what? RS457, I was able to confirm that the rear tail light that I did on the RS-V4 by JL Designs that also fits on the RS660, I was able to fit it on the Aprilia RS457. So install video is coming up to show you how you're able to fit it. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned because a lot of content is coming up. In the meantime, if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.